If you want awesome products at great prices, check out the description. A major scandal is rocking Greece, shaking the foundations of its political landscape and exposing deep-seated corruption within its agricultural subsidy system. The revelation of a €290 million EU farming subsidy fraud, a staggering sum allegedly siphoned through fraudulent claims over a 5-year period, has sent shockwaves through the nation. This isn't just about missing money, it's a systemic failure, a betrayal of public trust, and a stark indictment of the state's capacity to combat corruption. The scheme, uncovered by the European Public Prosecutor's Office, EPPO, involved hundreds of applications from non-existent farmers, fictitious land plots, and fabricated livestock breeders. The scale of the deception is breathtaking. Politico estimates the annual loss at €45 million, a bleeding wound on the Greek economy. The implicated aren't just anonymous individuals. A lawyer based in Athens, for instance, was among those involved, highlighting the reach and depth of this criminal network. The fallout has been swift and dramatic. 5 senior government officials, including Migration Minister Makis Voridis, a prominent figure in the governing New Democracy Party and former Agriculture Minister during the alleged timeframe of the fraud, have resigned. This unprecedented series of resignations underscores the gravity of the situation and the pressure mounting on the government. The scandal even extends to the heart of Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis' power base, with a significant number of false claims originating in his native Crete, raising questions about the influence of political patronage and the effectiveness of oversight. The state subsidy agency responsible for distributing the funds, OPKEEP, has been dissolved, a symbolic act reflecting the complete breakdown of trust in its operations. However, the dissolution is not merely symbolic, it underscores the government's acknowledgement of its own failure to detect and prevent the fraud. This systemic failure extends beyond OPKEEP. Officials who attempted to sound alarms about irregularities were reportedly punished, demoted, or sidelined, highlighting a culture of silence and suppression that enabled the fraud to thrive. The sheer number of OPKEEP presidents over the past 5 years, 6 in total, further emphasizes the instability and lack of accountability within the agency. Prime Minister Mitsotakis, in a rare admission of the state's failings, has vowed a swift and thorough investigation. He announced the creation of a special task force charged with uncovering the full extent of the fraud and bringing those responsible to justice. His promise comes amid mounting public anger and widespread disillusionment with a political elite perceived as corrupt and detached from the needs of ordinary citizens. A recent MRB poll revealed that a staggering 74.5% of Greeks believe ministers were complicit in the scandal, a damning indictment of the government's credibility. The political ramifications are immense. For Mitsotakis, the scandal presents a serious challenge to his image and the authority of his government. EU diplomats in Athens have openly stated that his ability to govern effectively hinges on his decisive response, emphasizing the international implications of this crisis. Maximos Kyriakopoulos, a governing party MP, while acknowledging the positive step of initiating the investigation, expressed concern that it was the European prosecutor, not the Greek authorities, who exposed the fraud, a sentiment echoed by many who see this scandal as an indictment of Greece's ability to self-regulate and maintain accountability. This crisis has exposed deep-seated weaknesses in Greece's governance, raising fundamental questions about transparency, accountability, and the integrity of its political institutions. The coming investigation will not only determine the perpetrators and the full extent of the financial damage but will also reveal the depth of systemic corruption within the Greek government and its capacity for self-correction. The eyes of Greece, and indeed Europe, are now firmly focused on the unfolding investigation, awaiting answers and accountability in the wake of this monumental scandal. The question is not just how much money was lost, but whether this crisis will serve as a catalyst for meaningful reform or merely become another chapter in a long history of corruption and impunity.